A lot of people do not like Superman because they think he's boring or they think he's too powerful. And I think that Superman being like as powerful as he is, like when you write it right, makes him one of the most compelling characters around, right? Because like look at his nemesis, right? Like his nemesis is Lex Luthor, right? Lex Luthor is Superman, right? Like there's like a whole thing. I don't know if you guys know who Friedrich Nietzsche is. I think I said his name right. But like he was like talking about this like way back in the early 1900s that he was talking about like Überman or Superman. This is Überman is how you would say it in like German, right? And his whole point about that was that we could become Superman. We could become Überman if we would stop letting other people's opinions and thoughts cloud like our judgment and cloud our lives, right? Because like he was referencing like kind of like how, because at that time how World War One had happened because everyone just kind of were like sheep. We just followed the leader and just did what all the leader said to do, and they dragged us all into a war that killed millions and millions of people, the most deadly conflict in human history up to that point, right? And he was like, well, we could have avoided all of that and been better people if we wouldn't have let other people and other things touch us, right? If we would have been mentally, he was mostly talking about mental thing, but you can apply this physically too. If we had been mentally invincible, right, it would not have happened, right? We could have prevented something terrible from happening. And guess what Superman does? He uses the fact that he's basically invincible to prevent terrible things from happening, right? So like the fact that you have that and you have someone like Lex Luthor, who is, and by all accounts, Uberman, Superman, right? But he's like a false Superman, right? He's like, he has all the money and all the clout to be like a Superman, but his heart is in the wrong place. Like his heart is full of greed and evil and avarice, right? Like he has all the superficial stuff that we would be like, oh, that man's Superman, right? Would have, it's just like his heart and his mind is being influenced by evil things, so he's not Superman, right? And the reason why Superman is interesting me so much is because he has all that power and all that influence potentially like Lex Luthor does. He has even more of it than Lex Luthor has, but he doesn't let it make him a bad person. That's why I also don't like Injustice Superman, because in my opinion, like Superman is beyond like mortal things. Like, yeah, he would mourn Lois Lane forever if she died, yeah, but he wouldn't turn into an evil person. I think that's very contrived writing. I think that the thing that makes Superman so good and it makes Superman so like just relatable, well, not relatable, like someone you look up to, is because he doesn't let anything touch him. He doesn't let all these things out. Like, he should rule Earth. Earth should be his. No one can stop him. And yet he doesn't. He just wants to be a normal person, right? Because he realizes that being a normal person is better than that, because he's Superman. Like when you say Superman, like people think of the big muscles and the tight suit and him being able to fly and shoot laser beams out of his eyes, but like the real Superman to him is the mentality. The real Superman to him is the fact that he's incorruptible, right? And that's why I think that Superman is a very interesting and very well written, overpowered character. It's just the problem is like the writers, the people who write Superman don't always get that, so they just throw him against other superpowered people or just have him fight people and look cool, and they think that's enough when it isn't.